Hey guys, welcome back to Ballistic Performance. Today we're testing cut shells. So let's dive into what those are exactly and what they do. All right, we have a selection of 12 gauge shells here. We have birdshot, basically target loads, 7.5, 1 ounce of projectiles. We have 2 of those, one of them clear so you can see what's in it. You have all of the BBs here at the top, you have a shock absorbing wad, and then you have powder here at the end. And the shot cup keeps all those BBs together as they exit the barrel. So that's what your average birdshot load has in it. Now, we showed on another video that some shells have larger BBs. Maybe instead of several hundred, they have 68 20 caliber BBs, like this T-shot. Still others are even longer. This turkey load has 2 ounces of number 4 shot in it. It's 3.5 inches long instead of 2 3/4 inches, and has, again, several hundred BBs in it. This little guy is our cut shell. Basically, it's a poor man's shotgun slug. You cut this plastic shell casing and leave a minimal amount attached. And the idea is that instead of the perforation at the top of the shell letting loose, the entire shell end will exit the barrel, BBs intact, as a 1 ounce package and behave similar to a shotgun slug. So, what we need to determine is how accurate they are. Do they actually behave like a shotgun slug? Do they have as much energy as a shotgun slug? So we'll look at all of that. The one disclosure we need to have here, one disclaimer, is that these are in no way legal for big game hunting. They're not going to be legal for small game either. They are more of a shit hits the fan kind of load. Say there's a global pandemic and shotgun slugs are hard to come by. Also, these are an old recipe, so very possible that these ideas came about well before restrictions on buckshot sizes and stuff like that for big game hunting. So we'll put up a paper target and we'll test the speed of these and just see what we get out of them. Okay, to start out, I have the Benelli 12 gauge loaded with 2 rounds of our target loads that are not cut, and for comparison, 1 load of 1.25 ounce T-shot. $1,260. 1,224. And 1,293. Now I have the gun loaded with 2 cut shells, and we'll see if that makes any kind of a difference with the velocity. 1181. One thing we determined off camera is that these shells are not reliable out of autoloaders or pumps. In order to cut the shell, it gets deformed a lot. I experimented with cutting both sides and leaving a portion attached on 2 opposite sides of the shell, and that led to less deformation, so we'll see. But at this point, it's pretty safe to say these are single shot rounds. Okay, so we'll load a couple more one at a time and verify the velocities. 1233. And there's an example of one that didn't get cut all the way. 1165. Okay, so we have determined a couple of different things. First, when properly executed, this is what the empty looks like. So we're clearly letting a 1 ounce projectile head down range. We've determined that when not executed correctly, they don't shed the entire casing and you just get birdshot. We also determined that they will not function reliably out of any kind of an auto loader. So let's step back and see how they pattern. Okay, now we've stepped back 25 yards. We're going to shoot a paper target and see if these things are accurate, if they're tumbling, if they are indeed hitting as a single projectile. Okay guys, keep in mind this is not a rifled barrel. This is not a rifle with open sights or a scope. It's a duck gun, but still, at 25 yards, this is what we got with 3 shots. Not impressive, about 6 inches from shot to shot. However, these are like 1-inch holes all the way through that 2x6, 2x12. So clearly going through as a solid projectile and also not tumbling. So we'll set the camera up, put up a new target, and we'll shoot 3 more. And that's what happens when you don't get it cut far enough. We'll put up a new target. Okay, and similar results, shooting offhand at 25 yards, still doing about the same thing. So we'll step back to 50 or 60 yards, see how the group performs. I'll also shoot off a rest to give these the best chance they have. Okay guys, so here we are from 50 yards away. We got 1, 2, and 3. And I aimed low on 1 and looks like I missed. So at 50 yards, the accuracy diminishes substantially. So we're going to put up one more target. We're going to go back to 35 yards and see if we can develop some sort of consistency. Okay, so for reliability, not so much. We still have a few that are just not separating. We had a great pattern here, but I shot more than 3 shells. I believe I shot 4, so I don't know where the 4th one went. Okay guys, so cut shells, mixed results. If you're going to use it in an emergency situation, maybe not the best idea, because as we can see, they're 50% reliable. Over 25 yards, they start to get pretty inaccurate. They do behave just like a slug when they behave correctly. So I think the last thing we'll do is light up a milk jug, and we'll go from there. Okay, 1 ounce 12 gauge cut shell into milk jug. Well guys, thanks for watching the cut shell video. I think we determined that they are possible, not necessarily reliable, not necessarily legal, but fun to make. And you never know when there's going to be a pandemic and slugs are out of sale, right? Have a good one guys. Like, subscribe, and help support. Thanks. Hey guys, cut shell update. I realized that I did not record the bullet holes all that accurately. I had a couple that I counted over, thinking I had just shot them and I hadn't. I see that. So we may revisit this one in the future just to confirm the abilities of the cut shell. Thanks.